Planars. Planars. Yeah, that a little different. I don't know. Either you know what planars are, then well done. If you don't, you can go Google it. But uh, ultimately, it's just a different way of reproducing, in this case, awesomeness into your fucking ear holes. Yeah, Hifiman HE400se. Thanks again, Wallpaper Engine. You guys are awesome. Well, actually, it's not Wallpaper Engine. The guy that made this particular one, well done, bro. Again, I'm kidding. It's free. I'm not complaining about free stuff. It looks cool. Still can't make a fucking full CDACs. Yeah, you know, figure it out. Can't use digits, so I had to use something else. These give me pleasure within my loins. I will be sucking these off sufficiently. They will be super moist by the end of this entire video. But the only way to get there is to get there. So, little matrix thing. Anyway, so I don't know. Enough rambling. Let's get to it now. So we start now by asking ourselves, what's in the box? It's a pretty box. I'll give him that. Semi-minimalist. This could have rather been embossed. Kind of makes you feel like this sticker right here was kind of an afterthought. It's like, oh my god, we didn't put this on the box. So now, I'll just stick it on there. Who cares? But yeah, overall, gives you all the necessary information. The impedance, which is still a fucking lie. Well, it's not a lie. It's just not. It doesn't tell the whole story. 25 ohm. Come on, Jesus. Anyway, we'll get to that. Pretty box, and now you get to experience the same thing that most Apple customers would. The 3,000-year journey to the box. You know, actually releasing your new possession. Yep. There we go. I'm not forcing it. This is how long it takes. I'm not pressing. This is it. They're just waiting in this box. Yep. And we're waiting. Still waiting. I'm not forcing shit. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. Okay, now I got it. Jesus. There we go. Let's put that there, and this is what you're presented with when opening the box. Get this little thingama, blah, 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 and then it's presented like this. Not the most fancy way. You get your silica shit, or whatever, just absorbing all the lack of moisture. And wrapped up in here, there's a cable. Jesus. We'll get to that little cable. So yeah, then you release them from their tomb, and you continue on with your life. Let's just close this up right there. I'm gonna put that right there. It's all pretty. Oh, yeah. Then we get to, actually no, I don't want, nah. Put this there. There you go. That's a cable. That's a confidence-inspiring cable, I might add. It doesn't come with this yellowy thing. I like to label them, which is kind of stupid because no other headphone would ever come with, well, this. Jesus. This is bad. This is almost hysterically bad. Given how awesome this is, and how deceptive the unboxing is, yeah, they kind of threw you a little screw you right here. Apparently, they thought, using the same material that you would twist tie bread bags is a suitable material, to create a cable for these. Jesus, I hope this is some sort of a cost-cutting measure, because they're not really that expensive, so I'm guessing that's the case. Yeah, it comes with this. There we go. Oh, thank God this is in the box. Otherwise, I don't know how I'd feel. yeah, the problem with these are once you've twisted them, it kind of stays there. This is I'm not going to go into. This is extremely self-explanatory. No need to overthink this. This is bad. This is so bad that I actually use this on a permanent basis. These are the cables. The cables. This is the cable that I use all the time for these. My pretty Sandaras, which if you can't see it, it's there. Don't worry, you'll see it someday. And pretty much any other headphone that requires 2 3.5 mil connectors by the cups. So the reason I'm doing that is because I'd rather have this wear and tear than something that's not this. So yeah, this it's not like I'm abusing it. It works. It's not like it doesn't work. And I've tested. No real sound difference. So I'm guessing what's happening inside is the same thing. It's a conductive goddamn cable. It could have looked nicer. Anyway, yeah, yeah. This is ew, but I'm saying ew, but I use it on a daily basis. So you know, I guess you know what, I'm the fucking jerk. So yeah, that's what's in the box. And now, what do I usually do after this? I wonder if I'm gonna keep sticking to a certain like structure. I'm gonna mix shit up a bit. But yeah, usually I like after this. In the last, I've only made 2 videos up until this point. But after this, I would usually do the build and the feel. Well, as far as that goes, not much to complain about. You can pretty much see how minimalist it is. This is metal, plastic, foamy shit, and fairly decent, comfortable cups. This can all flip around like that. You can see your planar driver, which is pretty big ass drivers. In my experience, these are pretty big drivers, and they're extremely open, very much open. I mean, you can almost see straight through from the one side to the other. Yeah, they feel decent-ish quality. They feel fine. There's a bit of a, I don't know if you can hear this because of the noise canceling, but yeah, there's a bit of a squeakiness there. It doesn't really feel like it's ever gonna, just fucking disintegrate, which is cool. Mine came with this little shitty, the way the stitching on the cups go. It's kind of sad. I don't know if you can see it with focus, blah blah blah, but yeah, I mean, this leaves some to be desired as far as QA goes, but it's not like it's broken. It's fine. The cups are fairly soft, not the softest, but it's soft, and it covers my entire ear, which is happiness. And they bragged about on the inside. The fuck was that? They bragged on the inside. There's like the perforation that's supposed to assist with the I don't know, breathing of the ear, reduce sweating and stuff like that. I usually don't sweat whilst wearing cans because I don't like being warm. So I just have the AC on permanently, if need be. Yeah, 3.5 mil connectors on either side. They're labeled right and left, which is not really. I mean, yeah, but you can do it, but it's fairly obvious how they're going to be putting on your head because they're all thick here and way thinner there. You're obviously going to be putting it on like this, so you honestly don't even need to look for it. You look at it and you're like, oh, okay, of course I'm going to be putting it on like this. Yeah, does this, I guess, fairly well. Mostly, I like the look. Not so much look in the sense that they're pretty. It's just they look goal oriented. I don't know how to put it. Like somewhat of a classy feel, but minimalist would be the best term here. The padding on top could most definitely be softer. It could be. So what I would usually do, put them on my head and then squeeze down so they kind of conform, to the top of my face. That's what I would usually do. But otherwise, I personally can wear these for pretty long without them, being an irritation. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty sick. As far as look and feel goes, silver and black, always a classic combo. I'm pretty sure the mass drop, the 4XX, I think, they go with a more bluish, blackish feel where the silver is, whatever. I don't know. I guess that should look better, but at the end of the day, it's a preference. These feel fine. I'm happy with the build and the feel. They feel slightly above their price range, I guess. I don't know. It feels like they could have easily gone $50 more, and people would probably still buy it. But it's the value proposition for the whole planar thing that's really a selling point with these. But I'll get to that, when I get to the conclusion. But yeah, pretty sick build and feel. I like it. Not the lightest headphone you'll ever come across, but then again, the planars, in my experience, tend to be on the heavier side. And with the slightly heavy-ish metal being used here, it's fine. Again, it doesn't really intrude upon, the whole comfort thing. And these I probably use more than most of my other cans. But I'll get to that in the sound. So yeah, happy days. 400 SEs. Decent build and feel. Good times. I guess we should talk about, how these things fucking sound like. Because there's you know what? We'll get to it. Yeah, let's get to it. Sound. God damn sound. Okay. Let's first preface this by saying these were my introduction to planars. This is the case because two guys said that this would be a good intro into planars. First of all, given the price, which we'll get to, mostly because of the price, but also that they are extremely decent for said price as far as planars go. So for you to kind of know if you're gonna like that, go for these. And then you didn't spend fucking thousands of bucks to experience it. And if you're more of a dynamic type of person, then you didn't break the bank completely. At least that's what Zeos and Joshua Lure, whatever that guy, like those, the good reviews, and that's what they said. And I absolutely, utterly, completely fucking agree. When I heard this the first time, I didn't realize actually how much I appreciated just that crystalline clarity, that goddamn precision that planars give you. Not that it only focuses up here. It's not like it does just that. What are you doing? Oh my god. My cat's destroying something outside. Oh well, at least it's not my shit. Anyway, but there's still a goddamn slam in the bass. It doesn't go that low of a bass. It prefers more of a punch rather than a rumble. But you can still get a rumble out of it. Like if I were to, disable my EQ on the subjective, then they do feel fairly flat. With my untrained ear, maybe a subtle, just a hint of emphasis on the extremes. Well, that's just that's ultimately what I hear. Other than that, without starting to be too specific, they just sound exquisite. Jesus, it's just beautiful. If this is the type of sound, it's super detailed, super clear, if that's the sound that you're going for, then just get a planar. At the end of the day, all of them, I'm not saying all of them will sound awesome, But this feels to be like the general entry level into the planar field. That just that gateway goddamn drug. Like if it weren't for these, I would have, like, I've always known about the Sandaras and how silly those are. Silly awesome. I needed to do this before I got those, because these are one of the two or three that I bought new. If you've watched any of my other videos, you will know that I like secondhand audio. And because mostly in the audiophile community, people tend to take good care of their shit. And when offloading, if you prescribe to the whole break-in thing, that's already done. But I don't think that really counts for planars that much. But overall, these were still less expensive to a moderate degree than the Sandaras were secondhand. So these really come in at a good price for planars. But again, I keep bringing it up because it's kind of noteworthy. But I'll get to that, after this. Again, as far as the sound goes, so you know what some certain songs do. Let me just go to my soundtracks folder right here. Some soundtracks, especially the ones that are orchestral and powerful, shit like that. John Powell, James Horner, the guy that did the Hum to the Sea, Titanic. Any of the Hans Zimmer loves to do that bullshit. John Williams, whenever mostly Hans Zimmer actually more, because I do believe even though he does use orchestras and stuff, there's a lot of electronic stuff mixed in there as well, which I'm pretty sure is for most things. But when people in soundtracks and songs, artists and composers, when they start playing around with the whole left-right positioning thing, god damn, man, like this is where you want to be. And there's other songs. I think I put this in my sound demo folder. You need to. I want to get the name. I think I got it. Is it in this? Yeah. It's in this. I don't know if you've watched Attack on Titan. I'm not the biggest anime fan, but Attack on Titan kind of grabbed me and by the balls, and just started jerking me off, and it was extremely pleasing. At the point where Hannes dies, there's this sad song with there's these children humming, and all the headphones I've ever put on my face and speakers that I've listened on, because I've rewatched those seasons quite a few times. Other than these and the Sandaras and the Aeons, no other headphones could have replicated that. There's a certain sound once they get to that chorus piece of the hum that it suddenly appears. Like you didn't know it was there until you had this shit on. It's extremely prevalent on these Sandaras, but I'll get to a review on that and how silly and awesome and just goddamn ridiculous those are. But these tend to expose those little subtle sounds in music that you didn't know was there. Like if you were to listen on most, and I'm seriously 95%, I believe, of dynamics, even if they are the most awesome, I think they will always struggle to get those subtle hints of fucking little sounds in the back end that you're the song or the soundtrack would be 100% fine without it. But when you realize it's there, you just, this is what I would call audiophile level bullshit. It's that's the reason you got kind of into this. Other than it just feels like this is how it's supposed to sound, whatever you're listening to. Not that me, or anyone can say what the composer or the artist intended it to sound like. How the fuck would we know? But they give that feel of they wouldn't have put that sound in there if they didn't want you to hear it. But then nowhere does it say you need something like at least this to experience that. And that, that's kind of what that pretty much gets you again by the sack and just squeezes it just so softly, man. Yeah. The rambling aside, the sound on these, it's awesome. It's sick. Entry level planars. There's a slam to the bass. The mid range is exquisitely done. Even though I'm more of a V-shaped type of person, I can still appreciate and hear the mids that should still be present. You can't throw away mids. That doesn't make fucking sense. You'll just be hearing some fucking rumbly shit and some screechy shit with nothing to, connect them. Kind of feels like the mids should be there to connect them, where mine is like more like a dumbbell instead of just a fucking tube. But you all across the frequency range, these work. But when you start playing around with that binaural left right spatial shit, then these most planars, but these start shining to me. I would these will make you want to buy some Daras, because it did for me. And I'm pretty sure if this is your entry and you suddenly realize, oh my god, I like planars, because they're not warm at all. Like that whole warm feel that a lot of people like, which I do myself like. That's not that's kind of, yeah. Actually, it's not there. This is more cold and clinical, detailed listening. I still don't think you'll be doing work with these. You could, you could do, sound editing and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you should be fine. Again, that's not my line of work, but I have to believe this will work fine. So, yeah, to get back at it, insane high detail without ever sounding screechy. Never felt a sense of sibilance. That's what makes these so trippy. Like some dynamics, they can go like high, but then it starts sounding sibilancy and shitty. Where these go high as fuck, but it never irritates the goddamn ear. The Sandaras, they start, subtly jumping rope with that concept. But again, I keep referencing that shit. But it's kind of applicable, because once you've heard these, you're immediately going to ask yourself, so if these sound like this, what's everyone on about the Sandaras? But yeah, awesome. As far as sound goes, if you like planar sound, which I do a lot, games, music, soundtracks, fucking ukulele solos, fucking cats, fucking caterwauling, dogs barking, fucking flies, sounds of flies buzzing around your ears. It's gonna sound good on these. They make me happy, and at the price, they make me extremely happy. I'm done rambling. Let's get to the conclusion where I can actually talk about, what the whole price thing is. Oh yeah, and the power. Yeah, we should really discuss the power. We should discuss that, and then we'll get to the conclusion. But let's go to the box. Let's go. Wait a minute. Before we go to the box, I just want to quickly open this up. Let's see. Let's just see what they do. Jesus. Well, god damn, that's a good 109? Oh my god, this conclusion's even easier at this point. Is it on a fucking some sort of doesn't seem to be oh my god. Okay, this is a lot easier now. Anyway, let's get to the box. Let's consult the goddamn box. So, it says right there, I don't know if you can see it, but it says right there, 25 ohm. See, that's where planar gets you. That's where it starts to fuck with your mind. It's at times like that, my child, that you must be extra careful. Okay, do not look at this goddamn impedance rating. It's deceiving. It's not true. And forget about the frequency response. Most of the time, that's just a little PSA. I mean, just because you can reproduce those frequencies doesn't mean you fucking can do it well. But I bet you should look into in conjunction with the two. Oh yeah, 390 grams. That's why the whole weight thing. 25 ohm. If you pick up any standard set of head cans, dynamic ones, and you say 25 ohm, I'm gonna be like, God damn, those are easy to drive. Like, just plug that into your ear hole. Your brain should be able to power that. This doesn't work like that. You should look at that efficiency rating right there. 91 dB, 9191 dB. That's an extremely shitty efficiency rating. So I think I mentioned it at a certain point. You look at the ohms, like the impedance, but look at the sensitivity. It's crucial. Anything from, say, 105-ish, and this is just me speaking, I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to amplifying shit. I know that, and I'm fine with that, because I'll pretty much amplify anything if I can. When it comes to sensitivity, anything from, let's say, 100, but more comfortably 105 to like 115. I've never seen anything like 120. I don't think that's a thing. I don't know. But yeah, let's say between 105, 115-ish, then they're pretty damn easy to drive. In conjunction with a lowish impedance, say around about 50 lower. But these are 91. That's on the very lowish spectrum. As far as efficiency goes, amplify them. Please, for the love of all that's holy, goddamn, amplify them. I'm begging you. I've seen people, prominent goddamn reviewers, not saying any names, Sister Williams, but saying you can get away with plugging this into your phone. You know what? You go ahead and try. And when they sound good to you, they're going to sound like either one or two things. Either you haven't experienced most of this shit and they're going to sound good, or they're going to sound extremely shitty. If they sound good on your phone, straight up, then sweet Jesus, you're in for a fucking roller coaster when plugging them into a goddamn amp. But when they sound shitty, it's because I told you so. Don't do that. Please, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Any amp, any decent-ish, Jesus the fucking accent. Any reputable brand headphone amp will be fine. You don't need to go for all out expensive. Again, like, go to the shits of the world, go to the JDS labs of the world, JDS apps. The fucking just go to those, and you'll be it'll be fine. I'm rolling on the SMSL SP200, which I don't consider to be OP anymore. Like, there was a certain point where the 789, they kind of have the same power outputs. Only problem is this is like, they fucking trolled with the balanced out, so you don't really get the benefit of going full balanced out, the power benefits. But going into the standard quarter-inch jack, into these, beauty incarnate. Oh my god, it's awesome. Just put it on the goddamn amp, and whatever you do, again, I thought everyone was like, oh, it's just this thing people say, don't care about it. I don't know if you can see the tube amp. It's a cheapy tube amp, but I like the feel and I like the fact that I can, equalize. Don't put it on a tube amp. You're not going to break anything, I don't think, but you really lose what the whole point of these are. So put it on a solid state and just be extremely goddamn happy. They are not efficient. Please, you leave me alone, you. They're not efficient at all. Do not do it, please. Power them with an amp. That set aside, these are awesome. Apparently, and if I'm not mistaken, when I got them, they were still retailing for something like 150. I don't know. What does Honey say? It, I don't see any weird drops. Oh, whatever. At a certain point when they were new, I'm pretty sure, I could be mistaken, I'm not going to go all in on, researching that, but I'm pretty sure that these were 150 at a certain point. And at that time, in my opinion, after putting them on my face, I was like, God damn, as far as Freedom Box goes, that's decent fucking for planars? Sounds like these? That's a decent goddamn price. But at $110, excluding shipping, of course. I don't know, maybe you've got Prime, you've got free shipping to your house when you're in the States or whatever. I don't know, but excluding shipping, $110? Yeah, then you should just go buy these. Yeah, I'm sucking these off right now. At that price, you suck off most things for that price, given the experience that this provides. Yeah, planars, they're awesome. They work. It's insane. I like these. These are like a true foray into fucking audiophile level bullshit. These 6xx's, shit like that. You don't have to buy these specifically. If you can get the 4xx's that Mass-Drop did, it's just a revision of these, then go fucking do that, because I think they changed the band to the suspension bandy thing that the Zandaras and most of the stacks do. It doesn't matter. They're going to be fine. If you can get a hold of old HE400i's, was it HEs? Whatever, 400i's. These are like the modern revision of the 400i's with the bigger driver, I think, but I do know the whole magnetic, the stealth magnet design. They just edged off the edges, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they made it all smoothie and shit. That's the only change. It doesn't matter. Just, this is nice. If you want to experience planars at a ridiculous price at this point, like, you get them. And if you don't come to me and say, "Oh, I don't like the sound," like, you should kind of know if you like this beforehand, actually. But again, how could you if you haven't heard them before? Yeah. They have been sucked off sufficiently. They are now super moist from my breathy fucking cadence, and I'm enveloping them in my juices. This is an easy sell right here. Yeah, Hifiman, free fucking marketing. Not that this video is going to get a lot of views, but yeah, easy sale right here. Intro into planars, intro into the audiophile life. Because if this rocks your world, yeah, you're gonna wanna go ahead and get some Sandaras. And then you're financially fucked at that point, because you're gonna be searching for what's better. And you're gonna struggle in finding better. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. Next video up in, who cares? HE400ses. Good times.